So is flipping property actually profitable? So by flipping, I'm talking about buying a property, doing it up, selling it on in the short term. Is that something that's worth your time? Is now the time to do it? Should you be going into a strategy like that right now? The short answer is absolutely yes, but only if you do it right. Now, I've been investing in property around 16 years. I've bought around 40 properties. Over that time, I have learned a fair few things about property, and I'm still learning. But the reality is you have to buy the property at the right price. That's rule number one. If you get that wrong, everything else becomes very difficult. Now, here's the thing. Just because a property needs some work, it needs an upgrade, it needs a renovation, doesn't guarantee that it will be priced sensibly. The price of a property is set by either an estate agent who's potentially in some cases overly optimistic, or it's set by a seller who's overly optimistic, or a combination of the two. So price doesn't tell us necessarily what the value of the property is. Value and price are two different things. What you need to become accustomed to doing is establishing the value of a property in advance before you offer on it. Don't just buy the damn thing because it needs some work, hope that once you spend some money on it that you'll make some money. That's not the way to flip property. We need to understand in advance what the value is, and we work backwards. What's the refurbished value? What's our refurbishment costs? What are our true buying and selling costs of that property? So we know that having spent that money, once we get there, we've still got a nice profit at the end of it. But we know all those figures in advance. So that will include legal costs, stamp duty. That will include utility bills, council tax, everything that goes into owning that property until you sell it. Now, property flipping is a short-term strategy, so you won't be holding that property for very long. But after a while, those costs can mount up. So it's really crucial that you understand all of them in advance and that you've got that property at the right price. If you get it at the right price and you make money, you lock that profit in when you buy, not in the future when you're hoping to sell, or you're hoping for the property prices to go up. That may not happen. If anything, they can go the other way. So how do you avoid that? And that takes me to the next point. Should you be doing this right now? Absolutely, you should be flipping right now, because if people are nervous about flipping, what does that tell you about the competition? The competition is essentially going out of the market, moving out of the market because they're not sure if they'll make money. So if you're buying significantly at a discount, you're locking in that big discount, you're keeping your refurbishment cost down to a minimum, so your buying and selling costs are kept to the minimum, then you can make profit in any market, even if the market falls, because you've got that good discount. So what is a good discount? Now that depends on the work that needs to be done to a property. This is a massive variable. I've done refurbishments on properties that have cost 15 grand. I've done refurbishments on properties that cost over 60. It really depends what work you need to do that will dictate the level of discount that you need to achieve to make that property project worthwhile as a flip. But simply put, the deals that I'm buying typically are around 30 to 50% below refurbished market value. That is the kind of discount you're going to need if you're going to pay for the property to be refurbished and still make a generous profit. And the profit I look for is an absolute minimum of 20% as a return on investment. So if, for easy maths, you are all in spending 300 grand, you want to see 20% back as your profit. So you're all in spend 300 means your profit should be 60. And that's round about the average cost of houses in the UK. Across the country, you're looking at 300k. So that's a good example to work from. Typically speaking, that gives you enough of a margin, enough of a profit that if the prices go the wrong way, you still make money. If there are unforeseen costs that you didn't expect, or you got your values even a little bit wrong, you can still make money. And when you're ascertaining your values in advance before you buy a property, you have an element of conservatism, so you're not getting too carried away and looking at best case scenarios. You're looking more towards worst case scenarios on your figures. And if you do that, you'll be protected. So absolutely flipping property works. In fact, one decent flip with those kind of numbers is enough to replace the average salary in the UK. Do two of them, you're on a 6-figure salary, but only if you know how. And if you know how, you ultimately can make massive profits flipping property. So hopefully this video is in some way useful for you. If so, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to this channel, and you will see me again very soon.